Okay, dear students, once again I am in front of you. Today I will take up the topic that is determination of charge to mass ratio E by m, charge of the electron and mass of the electron, ratio of charge of the electron to the mass of the electron, that we are going to determine. Just introduction is given in your syllabus, so we'll learn about it. This determination of charge to mass ratio is taken up by Mr. J.J. Thomson. So, Mr. J.J. Thomson have calculated the E by m ratio, the charge to mass ratio, and he used a process. So, he has used a cathode ray tube experiment with which we have used it to discover the electron or cathode ray. So, same instrument has been used to find out the charge to mass ratio. Okay, in this we will see the arrangement. Now you can see here, this is the discharge tube, okay. In this discharge tube, this is the cathode, this is the anode. So behind the anode certain arrangement have been made. One screen is formed. This is the fluorescent screen. Why it is called fluorescent? Because fluorescent materials are stuck over it, generally zinc sulfide. So now you can see here magnet is there. This is the positive negative charge. So you can say that is the electrical field also there. Now first of all, so same experiment we have carried out here, which was carried to discover the electron. Now here what we do, that we will remove this. Initially we will carry out this experiment without this magnetic field and electric field. So at that time this cathode ray will emanate from cathode and it will pass through the hole made in the anode towards this fluorescent screen, and we will get the glow at B. So at the position B, that means cathode ray moves straight and it will collide the fluorescent screen at the position B. So this position is in the absence of magnetic field as well as in the absence of electric field. No magnetic or electric field is added here, and in the absence of this electric and magnetic field we get glow at B. Now we will apply only electric field. Now we will not put this magnetic field, but we will apply this only this electric field perpendicular to the path of the cathode. We will apply this electric field only, no magnetic field, only electric field. Then we will find glow at B. Now when we are putting this electric field perpendicular to the path of the cathode ray, then we get glow at A, not at B. We are getting glow at B. So there is a deflection towards the positively charged plate and we get glow at A. Okay. Now we will remove this electric field and now we will put only magnetic field, no electric field. Now the electric field is removed. Now I will put only magnetic field, and then we will see what is this. Then we will see the glow at C. So in the magnetic field as well as in electric field, in the both the case, cathode ray get deflected in a certain way. In case of electric field, it get deflected towards A. In case of magnetic field, it get deflected towards C. Okay. Now the third one, we will put these two fields together, perpendicular to cathode ray as well as perpendicular to one another. That means magnetic field, electric field, both are perpendicular to the cathode rays, as well as this magnetic field and electric field are perpendicular to one another also. So electric field, magnetic field as well as cathode ray, these three are perpendicular. We will adjust this magnetic field, electric field in such a way that these three will become perpendicular to one another. In that case, we will find that again this cathode ray will glow at B only, glow at B only. When this happens, so we will observe the movement, we will observe this deflection, we will observe this deflection. After observing this deflection, J.J. Thomson have calculated the charge to mass ratio. It is a very complicated process. If you study the engineering in future, then only you will be having a glimpse of such experiment, and there you will learn it in detail. I am just giving you the introduction, that much is given. So, it is at the moment it is beyond your syllabus to know in details, because certain complicated mathematics are there, so that you won't be able to understand. So, that is why it is not given to you. So, if you learn in higher classes, in a higher study, you will learn all these things. So, now you have studied this one, how it is carried out. Now, we will say something. So, ultimately, so you can see what I said, that is written here in the notes. So, you can note it down. What I said, same thing is written in the notes. You say, so when electric field is applied, the electron deviate from their path and hit the fluorescent screen at A. When magnetic field is applied, electron strikes at point C. In the absence of any field, cathode ray strikes at the fluorescent screen at point B. Now electrical and magnetic field is adjusted in such a way that is applied perpendicular to each other, in such a way that the electron hits the point B and comes back to the original path, that is there is no deviation. Okay. So, on the basis of this experiment, Thomson have determined the charge to mass ratio, and it is how much charge to mass ratio on the basis of the data of the how much it get deflected. So, on the basis of this deflection, charge to mass ratio is determined, and it is found to be 1.7588 into 10 power 11 coulomb per kg. Okay. Where E represents the charge on the electron and m represents mass of the electron. So, in this way we learned how to determine the charge to mass ratio. Okay. Revise it. Okay, thank you.